Hello everyone and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So the paint event is back and this is a good thing. So as we all know, the new Allan Serbin's landscape treasure item is actually pretty nice. And I wanted to talk about this for all of you who don't have any treasure items and basically which ones I think are worth it to go for first and which one might be for you. So first of all, we have an event going on right now with the fishing one. This is kind of off topic, but every time I see Gizzard, I just think Glizzy, but either way. So anyway, there's the event going on right now, the Allan Serbin Leaves a mark. Basically, you do one of two quests a week, and then you get a box with paint that allows you to go for treasure items. And treasure items are basically just very nice, convenient items, the merchant ring being the most difficult one. And that one's actually like almost mandatory with these days, especially for end game players. But anyway, just wanted to talk about all of the different treasure items. And last time I made a video with the event going on, I talked about what all the items do. And this time I'm going to basically break it down on which ones might be a good one for your day-to-day basis and talk about it. So which one should you get, essentially? So with this event, what do you do? Let's learn more about the details. First of all, the quest that you do is basically kill 2,000 monsters, just go grinding for an hour or something, and then you'll get the first one, which will give you 4 boxes of paints. And then the second one that you get is doing hard mode bosses, which I understand not everyone is going to be able to do, because that one is just kind of gear locked. But, you know, if you can do it, the ones I'd recommend for all of you, you need to kill 3 bosses on hard mode. Bulgasil being the easiest one, Uturi and Jigwi being the next ones. So if you were to only do 3 of them, I would do Bulgasil, Jigwi, Uturi. If you have a full group or people who are experienced with it, you could always do Dark Bong Wang and Be Young. Those are a little bit more mechanically intensive, but ultimately it's not that bad. So what I want to do this week, so I guess during the event of all this, is if you have like 330, 340 AP, I'm probably going to try to run these more with you guys, even though I've already done mine for the week, but, you know, just help other people get it. No big deal. And so, yeah, after that, you just pick the paint you want, and we're going to talk about it. All right, so yeah, there's a few things we want to talk about. There's 4 different treasure items: the compass, the archaeologist map, the rich merchant ring, and the telescope. So all of them are nice to have, but some of them might be more useful on your day-to-day. The one I would recommend for everyone is going for the rich merchant ring, obviously, because that one reduces the amount of tax you pay on your central market sales, and basically you just make more silver. However, that one is the hardest one to get, and some of the pieces are kind of annoying to get. The telescope allows you to teleport to another player or like a party member or your guild member, and that one is the like reverse compass. The compass teleports people to you, the telescope is you to them. And the archaeologist map works as a traveler's map, and basically you can go to town and then back within a certain time period, so that's actually really nice. And then also with the compass, you could basically see when you're in the desert. So you know how your mini map kind of blurs out in the desert? You can see in the desert. That's cool, I guess. But anyway, okay, so let's talk about it once again. Which ones I think are the priorities for you? 1, I would probably go for the rich merchant ring. 2, I would probably go for the telescope, because that one is more convenient than, you know, the compass and archaeologist map. And 3, the archaeologist map. And 4th, and the lowest value one is the compass. So how do you get them? Let's talk about all the grind spots. I have 2 treasure items of the 4, and then I'm like 3 out of 5 pieces for the merchant ring and 1 out of 4 for archaeologist. So Piliku Jail, Sulfur Mine, go for the ones you go for if you want the archaeologist map. I think ultimately these are fine. I would say use your paints on the ones that are more valuable, simply because according to the data and people I've talked to over the many years I've been playing this game, I think universally people say that the archaeologist map is the easiest to get in terms of, you know, time spent grinding and, you know, I guess amount of AP you need to grind the spots. So while I do think the archaeologist map is a good one to go for, I think it's better off to grind these spots normally because you'll just get it like naturally. And so you might as well use your paints on something that's more challenging or tedious to get. So yeah, Pilaku and Sulfur are for archaeologists. Next, we're going to go talk about Ackman and Hystria, which is for the compass. So I talked about how the compass is the lowest value, and by that, I don't mean it's bad. I just think it's like, you know, you aren't going to be using that daily in a way. So Ackman is a very easy thing. There's a lot more density in terms of enemies that drop the piece. Whereas Hystria, there are far less Eltons around, and that means it's harder to get. It took me about 500 hours to, back in the day. Like nowadays, it might be a lot easier. But like back in the day, before there was Dekia and everything, I had to do like river rotation, if that means anything to people these days, for the Elton piece, and I finally got it. I have a video you guys can watch. It's actually pretty exciting. And then, yeah, so Ackman and Hystria, this one is time consuming, but I think the compass is the least valuable of the four, in just my opinion. Okay, so next ones we're going to talk about are Sakraya, Padex, Ash Forest, Crypt of Resting Thoughts, and Olin's Valley. So all 5 of these pieces are going for the Rich Merchant Ring. I know you're probably thinking, oh, so the other spots for the treasure items only require like 2 grind spots. Like there's 2 pieces of Sulfur, 2 pieces of Pilaku, so 4 total pieces. Hystria is 3 of them, I believe. There's Vodkin, Elton, and Ackman. But it kind of makes up for that because Elton is significantly harder to get. All right, so the Merchant Ring is by far the most valuable one because obviously everyone needs silver in this game, no matter where you're at in the game. And paying less tax than the central market is significantly like good. Like you just make more money than everyone else. So yeah, let's talk about all these 5 spots and which ones are the ones you should go for. So Sakraya and Padex, these 2 spots were good back in the day, maybe like 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. And nowadays, the truth is, like, if you have the gear, you're making like 200 to 300 mil an hour, and that feels bad compared to like a lot of the other grind spots these days. So the hard truth is they haven't updated Sakraya and Padex. Well, they updated Padex, but it's still pretty bad. And if you were to go for the Merchant Ring piece, I think Sakraya and Padex are the ones you should probably use it for. Maybe Olin's as well. But yeah, just know that grinding these 2 spots, least amount of silver per hour, and it's going to feel bad. So I would recommend using it on these 2 first. Ash Forest is actually one of the best grind spots in the game now after they buffed it. So if you can do Dekia 2 Ash Forest, you're doing great. Even Dekia 1, I haven't done Dekia 1 in a couple of years since people, if you're going for the Rich Merchant Ring, you're either doing regular Ash Forest because clear speed is obviously faster, or Dekia 2 because you want silver along with it and it comes with the red artifact. So Ash Forest is actually really good. I wouldn't recommend spending your paint on this one simply because there's better options. Crypt of Resting Thoughts is actually a pretty easy one to get yourself. And so if you're just grinding for like Debo belts or something or anything else, I think this one has a very high drop rate. And by high, I mean like compared to other spots, you'll probably get this in like under 30 hours on average. Whereas like it might take you hundreds going for Olin's and everything historically, according to data. So yeah, Olin's I think is a very strong one to use it on as well, just because a lot of people don't like group grinding or just like, you know how BDO is mostly a solo game. People don't like grouping. That's interesting because you're playing an MMO, but it is what it is. I don't want to tell people what to do. So Olin's, if you just grind a spot, then the paint is fine. I chose Olin's not because I don't like group grinding. It's just, it's like very low drop rate. So I wanted to just have a higher chance of getting it anywhere else. But if I were to recommend anything for the merchant ring, probably Sakurai or Padex, just because you get to at least make some money somewhere else doing something. But Olin's is actually very good silver if you group grind, and yeah, it's just a couple billion silver an hour, so I think it's ultimately good. And also, like, I feel like people who are afraid, or like, I get it, some people have like anxiety group grinding with people. Yeah, just try to make some friends, join a guild where people are doing it. Everyone has fun. And honestly, when I'm grinding with my friends at Olin's, honestly, that 1 hour of grind feels like it goes by so fast. Just when everyone's in like voice chat or something, chilling, and then yeah, like an hour of grind feels like 5 minutes or something. All right, so anyway, merchant ring, Olin's, Padex, or Sakurai. Now, the final one we're going to be talking about, the fourth treasure item, is the telescope. I think this one is very useful because it allows you to teleport from you to someone else. And I actually use this on the daily, and the one I would recommend is probably going for City of the Dead, the treasure item piece here, because this spot is like the least valuable, or well, not valuable, like you get the least amount of silver grinding the spot. And the grind spot is kind of sluggish, at least when I grinded there. Like, you actually go pack to pack and like slow down. Tungrad and Darkseekers are very high silver an hour grind spots, plus you get a bunch of items. So like right now in the current meta, at least on the NA server, sealed black magic crystals are worth a lot. Essence of Devouring, Origin of Dark Hungers, those are worth a lot. So if you grind here yourself, that's actually, you're making billions of silver an hour. So yeah, Darkseekers and Tungrads are both very good, and City of the Dead just like fell off. So I would use it for City of the Dead if you're going for telescope, and that's about it. So quick recap: if you were grinding for the Archaeologist map, which one would I use? I personally find Sulfur Mine a little bit more fun to grind than Pila Ku, but ultimately it just depends on what you need. So if you have 0 pieces, I would probably pick Pila Ku and then grind somewhere else. If you were going for the compass, I would get the paint for Histria and then grind somewhere else. Merchant Ring, Sakurai, and Padex. Probably, I would value the paints there higher than Olin's, but once again, I understand, like, people don't like group grinding. It is what it is. And so, yeah, I once you get the Olin's piece, everything else is, like, significantly easier. And by that I mean, like, just on average historical data, you will get the other pieces faster than Olin's. And then once again, City of the Dead, because this one just least amount of silver. Tungrad and Darkseekers are both very good, and yeah, that's about it. So with that said, hopefully this helped you, whether you're a new player or not. I think all of the pieces are useful in one way or the other, but you know, it really just depends on what you do. Like, if you are, you basically just play the game solo, you're not in a guild, or you don't talk to anyone in your guild, or you don't have any friends, I guess to say. Yeah, compass is kind of useless. I would say Archaeologist map is always good. Rich Merchant Ring, if you can get all 5 pieces, you just make more money than everyone else. That's good. So anyway, that's about it. All I wanted to talk about. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you have any questions on anything, on how it works and stuff, just let me know. I'll answer those pretty easy. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.